You've been working hard for nearly a decade, always dreaming of financial freedom. One day, a friend introduces you to an intriguing website by a company called Terraform Labs. The pitch seems simple: deposit your savings and earn 20% interest every year. Low risk, high return. If you set aside just $500 from each paycheck, the system promises to multiply your savings over time. At first, you're skeptical. But as you watch inflation chip away at the money sitting idly in your account, the idea starts to sound tempting. After all, your friend insists it's risk-free. What you didn't know is that within just 2 years, half your savings would vanish. And you wouldn't be alone. Millions of people worldwide would see their life savings wiped out. In less than a week, $45 billion evaporated. Around the internet, the event was being compared to the 2008 financial crisis. But in the world of crypto, this is the story of Terra, Luna, and its controversial founder, Do Kwon. Do Kwon, born in South Korea in 1991, showed early signs of brilliance. After studying computer science at Stanford and brief stints at Apple and Microsoft, he returned home, determined to build something big, not within big tech, but to become big tech himself, inside the crypto world. He became fascinated with the idea of stablecoins, digital tokens pegged to the US dollar, designed to offer the benefits of crypto without the wild volatility. Inspired, he launched Terraform Labs in 2018 with co-founder Daniel Shin. With support from Asian e-commerce platforms and the payment service Chai, Terra quickly attracted attention. By 2019, it had processed millions of transactions and was featured in Forbes Asia's 30 Under 30. But insiders painted a different picture. Former employees described Kwon as charismatic yet narcissistic, a micromanager prone to verbal abuse. Within 2 years, most of the original team had left, often in disputes. Terraform Labs was becoming a one-man show, and Do Kwon liked it that way. Most stablecoins are backed by cash reserves or US treasuries, ensuring each token is truly worth $1. Terra took a different approach. Instead of backing its stablecoin, called TerraUSD or UST, with traditional assets, it relied on an algorithm. The system worked in tandem with a second token called Luna. Whenever UST lost its $1 peg, Luna was minted or burned to restore balance. The mechanism was elegant on paper, but dangerously fragile in practice. If confidence faltered and too many people sold UST at once, the algorithm would print more Luna endlessly, causing hyperinflation. This scenario had a name: the death spiral. But Kwon wasn't worried. To accelerate growth, Terraform Labs offered a fixed 20% yield on UST deposits through its Anchor protocol. The returns were so attractive that money poured in at unprecedented speed. At its peak, Terra was paying out $7 million in interest per day. Critics warned that this was unsustainable, but believers, proudly calling themselves lunatics, dismissed the concerns. By 2022, Terra had ballooned into one of the largest crypto projects in the world. Luna's price soared above $100, and UST was integrated into hundreds of apps. Terra seemed unstoppable. Despite the hype, cracks were forming. Terra's fixed interest rates were being artificially subsidized. Withdrawals could be made at any time, leaving the system vulnerable to sudden panic. Even worse, Kwon had quietly dissolved Terraform Labs' Korean entity just days before the crash. To outside observers, these were glaring red flags. But for the hopeful millions chasing financial freedom, the allure was too strong. Then came May 2022. It began with large withdrawals from UST, around $4 billion, followed by massive dumps of the token on exchanges. UST slipped from its $1 peg to 90 cents, then 85. panic spread. As more people tried to exit, the algorithm minted huge amounts of Luna to compensate, flooding the market. Confidence evaporated. Within hours, UST plunged to 50 cents, then 20. Luna, once worth over $100, collapsed to just a few cents. The so-called death spiral was unfolding in real time. By the end, UST was trading at 10 cents, Luna was virtually worthless, and $45 billion in value had disappeared. The U.S. Treasury Secretary cited the collapse as proof that urgent regulation of stablecoins was needed. For many, this wasn't just a financial loss, it was a personal tragedy. Reddit forums filled with heartbreaking stories of ruined lives. Some people lost their homes, others faced bankruptcy. In the worst cases, individuals spoke of suicide as their only way out. Theories soon spread. Some pointed to a coordinated attack by hedge funds, exploiting Terra's vulnerabilities to profit from its downfall. Others argued it was simply the inevitable result of an unsustainable system propped up by hype. Do Kwon maintained that he was devastated by what happened, but his critics accused him of arrogance and reckless leadership. His bravado had been on display just months earlier, when he mocked competitors and made million-dollar bets on Terra's survival. Now, those same words came back to haunt him. Some analysts argued that Kwon wasn't a fraudster in the mold of Elizabeth Holmes, but rather an overconfident founder blinded by success. Still, responsibility ultimately rested with him. He had ignored warnings, dismissed critics, and built a system that collapsed under its own weight. In the wake of the disaster, faith in stablecoins was shaken to its core. Projects with far more conservative designs suddenly faced skepticism. Regulators began drafting stricter rules. The very technology that was meant to bring stability to crypto had instead caused one of its biggest disasters. Perhaps the saddest part of all is that many investors turned to Terra not out of greed, but for safety. They wanted a secure place to store their savings, away from crypto speculation. Instead, they found themselves at the center of a financial catastrophe. The lesson is as old as investing itself. Never risk more than you can afford to lose, no matter how safe something seems. As for Do Kwon, his reputation is in ruins and lawsuits are looming. Yet incredibly, even as the dust settled, he proposed Terra 2.0. This time, however, few were willing to follow him again. The collapse of Terra and Luna was more than just another crypto failure. It was a turning point, a reminder that even in the digital age, financial systems are built on trust. And when trust breaks, the fall can be swift and devastating. For those who lost everything, the pain is real and lasting. For the rest of us, the story stands as a cautionary tale. No matter how innovative or convincing, every investment carries risk. And when someone promises you 20% returns year after year, it might just be too good to be true.